maybe not quite there yet for NRG. You hope to see it. You hope to see a competitive match, but again, they gotta prove it to Chiefs.
Yes, it's the slow but steady righting of the ship if you're an NRG fan, and there's nothing to do but keep fighting for it.
You better hope that that ship is setting sails to the right direction, because if it's not, it's going to be a very tough exit. But I think there are positive swings here for NRG, of course, getting themselves a little bit more involved in the bracket this turn around. For Space Station, looking a lot kind of how FaZe are in terms of their predictions, right? We're expecting FaZe to make deep runs to get to a championship caliber's place. Space Station in a similar spot where we're expecting more from this team because the ceiling is so high and they have struggled to get to that point. Maybe this is how things go. However, this regional round, they're going to have to do it through NRG in a best of 5. All of our round 1s will be best of 5s. This is the last match here on the mainstream. All of tomorrow, though, we continue on with the rest of the matches, and everybody else from the winner side of the bracket who has finished first in their groups, best of 7s in the quarterfinals. Achieves, this could be a close one or a blowout. I legitimately have no idea.
Yep, could be either one. Depends if Space Station is even more physical than FaZe was and is able to keep even more pressure, because that is something that NRG was doing a pretty decent job against FaZe. Oh, that's a misclear from Squishy, and it doesn't cost him. Daniel pings one off the crossbar, and NRG gets out unscathed.
Daniel fell right back to get his own corner boost, which, again, will just spell results for the counterattack of SSG. But ever since LJ was brought onto this roster, we were looking for the offense to blossom more consistently in the early games. It's happened, but we're looking for consistency throughout as SSG will find the clear. But NRG have looked good so far today. Not great. They had stumbles in the FaZe series, but they did show promise in their counterattacks. And if that continues, it's going to spell disaster for SSG if they don't read it. So far, LJ keeping it low on his chest. Will have to pop it towards the backboard, but Garrett will read it and clear it. And as of now, NRG will have possession on their own side of the field.
It was actually a really nice job from Squishy on that challenge against LJ as well. Like, you think, oh, LJ got through Squishy, it was good. But you have to think about the way LJ got through Squishy. Squishy was able to force him outside the frame of the goal, towards the back wall, into a totally unplayable spot for the Space Station defense. You like to see them controlling that side of the game if you're NRG.
About 2 minutes burned so far here in game 1. It's really been all of Space Station with the pressure early. Daniel, awkward little catch, but he does manage to get out around 2. Wins the 50 on Squishy.
Oh, dear.
That is just gross. If it falls through, it's disgusting. It doesn't. It's a save. NRG thanking Garrett.
They made it back? Didn't he get beat at the midfield line? How did he make it back?
I didn't think he had any boost, but he still found a way to basically squeeze it off the top corner. Here comes SSG yet again. And Justin comes up with another big one. LJ, slow roller, top bar, finally. A Chiefs can breathe.
It's got to go in eventually, right? There's no way. I mean, Garrett G obviously trying to just dive in front and save a much stronger shot. Squishy, actually not positioned that poorly, was hoping that the tip off the crossbar was going to hit into his car. Unfortunately, just off of his spacing a little bit. Will pay the price as a goal is finally scored for what you feel should have already happened at least one time.
I mean, it took that much for NRG to kind of break down on defense, which is a positive sign. But for SSG, they have a variety of different ways they can break you down, whether it's a 1v3 from Daniel, whether it's applied pressure. Arsenal on the side wall will get deleted, sent back to respawn, and Garrett will call point. Garrett gets blown off the play. Quick clear from SSG, trying to play their numbers yet again.
That physicality is wreaking havoc on that NRG possession counter. Very difficult for them to move the ball to each other with how aggressively Space Station are going towards these challenges. And more often than not, if they don't hit the ball, they're hitting the person playing the ball, and it's making it very difficult for NRG to move it the way they would like.
A lot of these floating contests in the front net for NRG. They don't have a lot of boost when it comes to extending up towards the back wall, also getting up to the ceiling to challenge someone like Daniel. So they're just throwing numbers at the play, and it's worked out so far. Foot race to the corner. Squishy gets it around and keeps boost as well. Call in from Justin, threads through the lane, keeps it on the ground. Arsenal skating and circling. LJ will take point. Garrett gets it back. Possession back and forth. NRG still fighting at the 50-yard line, but Arsenal will fall back in from his rotation, and Justin has a 1v1 he can't win.
Oh, and another big bump to just tank all that NRG possession. Now it puts a lot of pressure on Justin to keep it in the mix. You kind of have to give a little ground here for your NRG, because you don't want to keep fighting for boost and the ball at the same time, because eventually you're going to run out of it, but they make it work somehow. Justin is able to score off the open net. Look at Squishy here. He's just fighting for the ball. It just goes around the back. LJ gets totally blindsided. No shot to know he was back there. Good night, sweet prince. We're all tied up.
He take a play out of SSG's playbook, continuous offense. You get a demo to help, and things are looking good for the General so far. Tie game, 60 to play. Squishy off the kickoff, just throws it, lobs it at the net. Almost an own goal. That's hilarious. Here comes Justin for the dunk. Won't find it. Garrett pops it through the corner. The extension, looking for the redirect, but he has no boost either. What is happening from NRG off this kickoff? Space Station somehow still have numbers up. This has been an absolute chaotic mess of swing of events, but Daniel does get out to midfield and further, and if he keeps this going, you're looking at a 2-1 game.
Diving so hard, it's so aggressive from NRG. I mean, I don't hate the look. You do have to be careful. You do have a little bit of time and space to work with. LJ quick to rectify that, however.
Under 20 to play, Arsenal reset over 1, no dunk. LJ follow up.
Wow.
From Justin stabilizes and gets right back on top of the ball. NRG flying upfield. There's a bump. Squishy with all the space in the world, but no boost to boot. LJ will try to take it back. Justin plays it low. Could it be another OT? NRG trying to keep it alive. Arsenal off the back wall. The shot. Oh, you gotta be joking. Overtime again.
Oh, and Squishy was sitting there on no boost. He was pretty much a lame duck in the net. Quite fortunate that he didn't have to go anywhere else to try and save that one, and even more fortunate that it actually didn't go in. LJ misses the ball! NRG's gonna win game 1. Oh, wow.
I mean, Justin just gets the freest touch ever, and there's a miss, and that's it. I don't know what else you want to really break down here. It just kind of collapses for SSG. Garrett steps up. Oh, captain, my captain. 1-0. NRG in game 1.
Wow. Well, Leaf, I don't know what happened.
We had some Rocket League and
that's a 170-point game from Squishy. I felt like he did so much. Don't feel like he got credited enough save and clear score, but that's all right.
You know what else was an interesting result? You know, because this is a cool one. It's not just this one. Furia losing to M80 in the first one, and it was, I believe, a 4-0 scoreline. Like it wasn't
Ryan
even like
Blaze
a close.
picked apart Furia.
Yeah. So Alpha Cap's having a good time over there on that team stream. And a reminder, these other team streams are going on. So if you want to check out some of the other matches, we have 4 matches going on right now, 4 best of 5s for our first round here for the playoff bracket. So go find all those streams. Make sure you're cheering your favorite teams on. But this one seems to be an interesting one. I don't blame chat if they want to stick around for this one. NRG grabbing that first game against Space Station is good. It definitely felt like they were on the back end a bit, Spaceman, for some of that time, especially early on. But somehow they're holding on here, even against Space.
I think the most impressive thing today has been the defensive NRG when they're low on boost. They have really found a way to continuously contest a lot of these different open shots from SSG, from FaZe. And you think you have them on the ropes, you think you're going to punch them out of the round, but every time they bounce back, and not only that, but they get a counterattack out of it. Whether it equates to a goal is a different story. Been very impressed from NRG so far today, but we'll see if they can keep that momentum going here on Forbidden Temple.
Oh, Arsenal through everyone. I don't know if he can score it, though. Yep, Squishy's going to jam it closed. And now it's back the other way? This is... Oh, that's the perfect... Why you got to be joking? Someone put the ball in the net.
It's like Impractical Jokers. Now miss the net 5 times, and they've done just that. Daniel from the back wall. Okay, LJ. Right up the center. Triple commit. We love that. Front of the box. Taken back. Cleared. NRG. Justin from the ceiling. It has been a chaotic start to game 2. You might take that, though, if you are NRG. What is happening? Everybody, absolute traffic jam right now in the corner. Yeah, back to 1v1. That works.
Sometimes I don't want to overthink it. I think everyone's happy to at least take a little bit of a breath. How about LJ trying to squeeze that one top right corner? Daniel denied by Justin, and now you settle into a little bit more of a familiar rhythm. This is the big punt game for all teams. I'm not quite sure who it favors because, you know, I think if I hadn't seen NRG play FaZe, I might pick Space Station, no question, but after seeing NRG really be able to go out there and chase down some of these challenges that are pretty deep and coming away with wins, oh, okay, they're going to turn one into a goal as well. Great play.
I mean, it doesn't have to be pretty to work. Garrett's just been on one today. It's a beautiful pass from Justin, and Garrett floating just leaves it off his fingertips and rolls it to the back opposite corner. That's a triple commit from Space Station. Everybody, boat, bit. Good Lord. I think I just had a stroke. Here we go. Off the kickoff. Garrett. try to win possession. Justin will clear back out. No way Garrett's going to score from this angle. He might and he will. That's disgusting.
You, spaceman, have not seen some of the wizardry of all time from Garrett G. Granted, I didn't know if he could score it either, so quite a shot. Huge transition again from NRG. A huge early lead as well. 2-0, always fairly comfortable for pretty much any team in RLCS. So curious to see if NRG take a little bit more conservative approach or if they continue to try and run it up a little bit here.
Well, so far, it's really just been all of NRG. You got another demo. That's going to be another goal. Nope, Daniel will be there in time. Arsenal spawns right back up into the action. Hello, hi, goodbye. Squishy. A 1v2, trying to race it upfield. And now just if you're SSG, you're just trying to corral this possession back and trying to cool everybody down with how quickly this game's gotten out of hand.
Yeah, you really do have to force this one back into your own hands. And the only way you do that, like you said, through ball control, you have to force NRG to come take it away from you. You can't keep going for this big punch the ball up the field approach. I don't think that's really going to get the job done at this point. You already know NRG has been thriving off of that scenario. Uncontested. Daniel, you're joking. Justin, diving stop. Arsenal can't jam it top corner. LJ wants a third try at it. Squishy's going to poke it away from Daniel. Space Station Gaming ran into the wall as LJ will keep things to a 2-goal lead for NRG.
Said it before, say it again. The defense of NRG with low boost today has been disgusting every single time. That's just free. Justin had no boost, finds a save off the crossbar and gets back upfield, avoids a couple of bumps and just takes it away.
I gotta wonder.
My goodness.
There had to be some weird communication hiccup between SSG there. Obviously, there was the double commit on the challenge, but Arsenal getting hung up on that side wall and just totally unable to go and challenge. Daniel will get one back, so you can kind of write that last goal off. Forget about it. You're in the same situation you were just in, so great demo, nice kickoff, and really freezing Justin there, controlling all the space. Great job from Arsenal.
One of the first kickoffs where SSG were able to just kind of hold on to the ball once they grab possession. Every time it's been Justin or Squishy who's been able to find a quick contest. However, this go around, you are looking at just a 2-goal deficit like we had before for NRG. Can they hold on to the lead? If they do so, they are up 2-0 in the series. Man, that would be a bit of a stunner for a lot of different people. Not you who voted in the chat. We know how overwhelming you are. Everybody else, you're looking at SSG and at least how their run needed to go this weekend. They did not expect maybe to come down to this point. But Garrett's looked great. Justin's defense has been immaculate. Squishy's been fantastic at midfield. And it just continues. NRG 4-1.
This actually goes all the way back to Garrett G. Look at him harass LJ there on the goal line. Gets a little piece of him. Doesn't make it easy to control that ball in the corner. It kind of floats off his nose. And here comes Justin scoring on the open net. Again, a weird communication hiccup or a misunderstanding there from Space Station, because you can see that second player come through and try and support LJ by picking up that corner boost and following that touch, but just, I think, not aware of the spacing in NRG and how quick that follow-up was going to come.
Is it a spacing problem right now for Space Station, or is it more of a communication issue where we're seeing maybe LJ get called off in some of these defensive touches? We're seeing Arsenal maybe look a little bit hesitant upfield. What's the problem for SSG and why they're falling behind so quickly?
It's tough to say if it's like a communication or if it's just a lack of awareness, because, I mean, normally I can understand someone wanted to rotate tight to LJ there in the corner because they saw him get bumped, right? It's not like they're completely unaware of it. And they're just thinking, okay, it's going to be kind of a weak touch, so I'm going to try and rotate right through him, right through the path of the ball, and just be right there. But for whatever reason, just not thinking that NRG can see that too, and they're going to press hard. So I don't necessarily think communication might be the biggest thing, but that's certainly not the first time you've seen them just kind of be in a weird spot, like Arsenal not even fighting for the ball on the sidewall on that third goal when he just tried to rotate out, thinking maybe someone was going to be a little bit closer, perhaps. And that's why they think, like, clearly the call could be, okay, I'm behind you. And he's like, all right, then I'm going to get out of your way because I can't do anything. And so maybe it's a little bit of both. Also, could be as simple as just tilt.
Yeah, it very much seems like they've just isolated, whether it's a mentality issue, but for SSG, it comes down to gameplay alone. Feels like we're playing individual games rather than a cohesive team across the board. But that's credit to NRG. All the way down the line, Justin, Garrett, Squishy, a great game out of the trio. 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 saves for Justin. Did it defensively, got back out on counterattacks, was able to score as well. 5 shots for Justin, 5 for Garrett. Again, Squishy's been quiet this series, but not at a detriment. He's been finding his teammates, feeding them possessions, finding those assists. And again, defensively, this team has looked good. That's the takeaway so far for NRG, but Space Station looked flat in this series, Leaf.
This bracket is going to look awesome for the top 8.
Why is that?
Well, if NRG takes this, that's cool. Looking like right now, the Knights are up 2-0 on Dignitas, so that's a possible matchup against FaZe Clan. Koi, of course, is getting stomped by version 1. So version 1 complexity, likely a matchup. And right now, M80 up 2-0 on Furia. Furia facing match points. That'll be M80 versus Gen G. Although I would bet a Chiefs. The teams in quarterfinals right now are probably going to be the teams that win into the semis tomorrow. I don't know. I feel like those are the strongest teams. Like
the seeding would play in your favor.
Yeah, but realistically, even looking at the teams, it looks like we have a definitive top 4 right now. From what I've seen today. The large 4
atoms.
Yeah.
No more. It's really just a big 1. It's Gen G, and then everybody else.
It's true. When there's only one team to beat, who cares about who takes 2nd and 3rd place?
I mean, I believe in terms of how this regional has to go, was it Gen G has to get at least 2nd to clinch a major spot, even with all their success? So if that's the case, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen. It probably won't. But imagine NRG make the run and they end up stunning everybody, including Gen G. How much chaos would that bring? Putting a lot of hopium in chat for all the NRG fans. But into this one, you're on the verge of a sweep here. NRG up 2-0. They looked clinical. Space Station just looked flat.
Yeah, flat I think is the right word. There's a lot of firepower in that Space Station team, but definitely has not been brought to bear here in this quarterfinal. Or I guess it's not quarterfinal. Round 1 of the playoffs, I should say. But on the bright side, you've gone 90 seconds in match point. You haven't allowed anything yet. You haven't really gained anything, but you'd rather stop the bleeding than anything else, as that's a great chance and LJ can't square the ball up.
So the corners has been there. Space Station start to break down, though, once they get challenged on those contests. Squishy very easily from his own side of the field. Justin, I like the attempts, just couldn't land it. Now to Daniel, around 1. You got Arsenal, who misses the flip. Everybody up from SSG, applying the pressure. Daniel circling the goal line like a shark, but nobody else around. And that's another pop clear. Very quickly, NRG handling and dealing with that press. We've seen that time and time again so far in this series.
Oh, see, that's the communication issue. Like Arsenal thinking he's going to pass to LJ. LJ's thinking, I'm just going to go steal their corner boost. Nobody ends up with the ball. It buys extra time for NRG to come back and play defense. Somehow they make that second stop. Definitely not the cleanest look around the goal for NRG, but all things considered, if it's not in your net, you're succeeding.
Yet again, got to give credit where credit's due. The defense from NRG has looked excellent this series. They've been very low in the tank every single time there's a press, and they escape on these counterattacks. How many times have we seen this play in these 3 games? You wait, you buy your time, you get it clear from Garrett or Justin, and then somebody else is on the other side of the field.
And LJ, he's in position. He just doesn't quite have the ability to go all the way up and get it. Went and checked his camera, ran all the way out of boost. So who's to say if he was caught too far forward and just couldn't get up to it? Or if he just didn't have enough, one way or the other. This positioned NRG out in front again. Time ticking away.
You know, Chiefs, you brought it up earlier how we escaped about 90 seconds and nobody had scored. That was a positive for Space Station, but it's also on that same thread. We've burned about 3 minutes so far in this game, and it's going by quickly. If you're Space Station, your tournament life here in the regional ends in 1:47 if you don't find a goal.
You've got 11 shots.
Dangerous one. Squishy playing it low. Big clear from Space Station. Can they get out in time to continue this offense? So far, yes, but it looks like a contest from NRG will keep them at bay for the moment.
Does it feel like Space Station has 11 shots? NRG has 2.
Are we sure about that? Are we absolutely positive?
Unless I don't know how to count. I'm pretty positive.
I'm starting to think numbers ain't exactly what they mean, because that's a great bump. But yet again, Justin is there for the save. Arsenal going to play through the corner. Justin's waiting on the back wall. Squishy's going to take the challenge. Everybody gets their turn at this. No boost for Squishy, but he's still trying. He's trying his best. Daniel can't go anywhere. Arsenal playing it low, off the bar. LJ catching. Slow floater. Combining for a double commit. Daniel again. That has to be in, and it will, finally.
I mean, Justin was just camped around the backboard the whole time. He was on 0 to 5 boost for a while, and he and Garrett were really hoping to get a big pinch clear there as they collided to try and clear the space and give themselves some time to reset. Finally, the extended stay pays dividends for Space Station, and Justin able to recover after running into his teammate there and stall the play out in the midfield line. So overtime, NRG's no stranger to that.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, bring it on.
I've only done it like 11 times so far today. They can do it again. The big question is, can you convert that demo into a goal? Arsenal, what a read. Beautiful pass.
The pass is really where you get sold on it. Arsenal just beats the defense. LJ gets the demo, but the dish from Daniel. I mean, Arsenal knows it's coming. It's just a matter of how. How about straight on the nose? Don't overthink it. Just put it at him. As long as it's not behind him, you're in pretty good shape. Arsenal says, thank you very much. Forget overtime. We want to win right here.
One of the first times really in this series, NRG are now on the back foot. They're going to have to find everything in the tank that they've been so low on to get back upfield with a counterattack with about 13 to play. Justin dangerously brings it around and escapes adjacently to the side wall. 60 in the tank. Justin, around 1. The reset to Garrett. You got to be joking.
The takeaway!
Squishy, wow. It's still up. 1 second to go. The clear will be there, and we are guaranteed a game 4.
Arsenal. Way to just get a hand up. I thought that takeaway touch, they were scoring. We were going to overtime. There comes T-Shot. I should have known.
Leaf, I hear that things are getting spicy. Please let that be the case. What do you got?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have some results in. We still have a version 1 coin match going on right now, but actually that might be done soon. It looks like, again, version 1 might be done. But the Knights do take the victory 3-0 over Dignitas. They will be into the quarterfinals against FaZe Clan, making sure that points stay spicy in North America. And then over with the Furia M80 match. I think you already know what I'm about to say. M80! Completing the sweep against Furia. The final match, I think the scoreline was 3-0 for them. They only allowed 3 goals for Furia, and that was in game 2. They almost had their perfect sweep if they didn't concede in that game. Furia shut down by M80, and M80 will face off Chiefs against
Lion Blaze says racking up goals and destroying teams in CRL is not enough. It's time to come back to RLCS and start dunking people.
He's doing that. I mean, here's the thing. That roster, you guys got to start watching up for. Obviously, you know the names, but keep an eye on it. Percy, Lion Blaze, Kinsey, they have been making waves. Last regional, they looked great, and now they're looking good again into those quarterfinals again. So, shouts to M80.
Shout out to M80 indeed. Nice to see a team that's had veteran players throughout the RLCS, players in the CRL find a lot of success, especially against powerhouse rosters, even looking at a team like Furia, but also please someone check on Jorby just for the
wellness check. Are you okay, buddy? It's a tough day for him.
Oh my. It's also been a tough day for Space Station as they've had so many different open looks, but they've eventually come victim to Justin, who's been sitting, waiting in the net like a little shark. When he smells blood in the water, he's going to pounce. As Garrett couldn't extend it, but Squishy will try to play it to the corner, almost the center out. LJ, the clear. Arsenal. Give me back.
He's so dead. Yeah. You want to see somebody on defense just get put on the hook and have no idea what to do? Look at how early Garrett G jumps. Okay. Fair enough.
That's me in ranked. I just jump at everything. And, it never works out, but neither did it there.
That was terrifying. I mean, if Arsenal and LJ are coming at you like that, I think the only one who stands a chance on that NRG roster might be Justin. He's the one who's used to those 1-on-2 situations. Garrett G is just like, oh, I'm about to get absolutely rocked, and unfortunately, he beat himself.
Arsenal with a great catch. Starting to see the passes a little bit more from SSG, and just starting to see the finishing a little bit more from LJ. He was slow in this series to start, but a beautiful pass downfield and gives it right back. LJ finds it.
Now, this is 2 goals in a row where Garrett G is really hung out to dry. It makes it look like he's a bad defender, but he's really not. I mean, he did have to freeze along the back wall. Arsenal, even being out of boost, still had such a trajectory that it prevented Garrett G from going cleanly around the back wall and diving across net. As now he finds himself again on the hook to play defense. This time he will come up with the stops, and NRG on the back foot early.
Ooh.
Long way to go, but bad start to say the least.
My goodness. Suddenly 60% of the chat started to sweat a little bit, and I don't blame them. I mean, that's disgusting from Arsenal. Almost found a demo and a bump that would have led way to a 3-0 lead. LJ cutting quickly into the lane, and that is almost free enough. Squishy denying it, and Justin trying to clear it. NRG do escape. You got a lot of time on the clock here on Coliseum, but you need something to go your way. It just hasn't. So far, it's been all pressure. Space Station applying it, NRG dealing with it, but barely enough.
Having to give up a lot of boost on their own half as well, NRG, so Space Station in an excellent position. Arsenal, you gotta get there. He will give his life to make the save, and I'm gonna say that's a worthwhile trade. Daniel towards the net, denied by Squishy.
I like that park shot there from Daniel. Again, Space Station look like they're a little bit more comfortable, maybe just here on this map alone, whether it's communication or whatnot. They're finding each other more and more with those infield passes. Look what it's done. It's going to be a high roller, quickly dealt with. More bully presence in the net. Arsenal trying to find members and bump them out of the play, but NRG, yet again, throwing it towards the backboard. Garrett cuts it down. Interception for NRG, taking it back. Arsenal, quick shot, quick save.
A little bit of delay game going on for NRG in the midfield, but need to get a little bit more concerted control over the ball. Space Station. Really, NRG have just been kind enough to kind of throw the ball at them, but that's because they've never really been in a good position, able to cleanly find each other on a pass. Like, yeah, that's 2 in a row for NRG, but it's tenuous possession at best. And Justin, with the right idea, finally bring that ball on a dribble, force play to slow down for a moment so everyone has a chance to catch their breath and get back on the same page. But does it make a difference?
Yeah.
We shall see.
A pace of play is kicked up quickly. SSG not wasting any expense, but Squishy, 3 taps. Garrett, a 4th. Justin, no fit. Squishy back in front
bad
of the box.
shot.
And a huge save on the double commit. It's Daniel and Arsenal trying to combine, but I think LJ gets credit nonetheless. Arsenal does find the read. LJ fighting against 2. He gets back out to midfield and a demo to boot. Numbers here. SSG pressing. NRG now trying to fly off spawn. You got Garrett low in the corner on his lonesome, circling towards the backboard. Here comes Daniel. Garrett should read this, but Daniel with a beautiful pinch off the ceiling, and he gets it down for an Arsenal goal.
Good night. We're going at least a 4 with that one. What a touch from Daniel is right up towards the ceiling, and the second hit, and the bump. Saying, no. You guys have been playing defense that has been, to say it in the fewest amount of terms, annoying. I'm going to make sure that none of that happens this time. We're closing this one out. We'll see you in game 4.
Goodness. That's the word. We're going to go with that because LJ, Arsenal, Daniel, they've woken up in this series. NRG's defense has been good, but it just hasn't been good enough in this game, and they really haven't, again, had any offense. Look at the scores, 3-0. Garrett trying to break the mold here. 50 seconds away from Champions Field would be a very interesting round 1 matchup to start off the playoff bracket, as Daniel will just try to kill time here and run out the clock. We've seen this before from SSG when they build a lead. And with a 3-lead cushion, or I should say a 3-goal cushion at this point, achieves, this is kind of the SSG we expected in this series.
It's definitely what you thought you were supposed to get. Wait, what?
Okay.
How did Squishy get through for free? Okay, that's a nice enough pass. Can't fade that. Nice little pop from Justin. LJ, he just got to hit the ball. I think he hit the brakes. And so he kind of lost all his momentum when he jumped. I think he thought he was going to be continuing forward a little bit more, but he essentially just jumped in place and couldn't cover the distance.
I like that play from Arsenal. Instead of just kicking it back out to midfield, he tries to bring it through the corner, kill more time. But Garrett will still find the read. 16 seconds. NRG Long pass. Justin's going to have to catch it and get boost. He'll do both. Couldn't find the connection. Arsenal will take it away. We are almost guaranteed now at Champions Field. Barring an absolute miracle of unbiblical proportions, we won't get it. And we go to game 5. That's nice, but not enough. 3-1 might be the final score. Regardless, SSG will knot up this series at 2 apiece, and we are guaranteed 5.
Oh, that's right. Space Station won the last game. I thought that was game 3.
The way the start of this series went, it very much felt like this could have been the 3rd game.
Well, that's okay. I'm losing my mind. I'm trying to figure out what's happening
all the
clearly.
NRG fans currently, because oh goodness.
Now it's spooky. That totally recontextualizes it. It's like, it's okay.
Man, this has turned into a silly little goose, man. It's a little fun series.
Yeah, this is definitely the one. Again, I'd say on Koi did get a bite back from version 1, but I just the looks at it, I think version 1 will still take that. It's the only other one still going on. So this definitely, in my opinion, is the most exciting match happening right now. The fact that it's going to game 5. And NRG, I mean, I had a feeling they'd bring us to the ropes and then this would happen. I think it's an inevitability now of anyone giving any kind of leeway to success for NRG. Is going to have a bit of a tiny heart attack there. They're going to make sure everyone's stressed out while watching this matchup, especially the fans. Hey, it's entertainment. That's what we want, though.
I mean, remember, all's fair.
All's fair in entertainment.
She said it earlier. Yes, so cheese, remind him one more time.
All's fair in love and entertainment. You can do anything.
Correct. And look, if you win this, your reward is you get to play G2. So have fun. Good luck. We'll see how it goes. Okay. It all comes down to this best of 5, and should I say this game 5, let alone SSG and NRG. NRG with a 2-0 lead, SSG fighting back. The reverse sweep is possible, likely, maybe. Potential, yes. Here we go. Champions Field achieves. It's been a fun one, but SSG look like they've found their rhythm here late in this series. NRG, what do they got?
Well, I think they've got a lot to think about, to say the least, but most importantly, you want to make sure you don't allow that early 2-goal lead, and that is not starting off right. They just can't get a handle on the ball. Arsenal scores off of Justin not quite able to hit that ball a second time. Oh, so close, but not enough.
We saw early in this series with Arsenal and Daniel and LJ playing very far upfield, often on their possessions. You see it there. You get a quick rebound. You're able to capitalize quickly as SSG will find the opening goal here on Champions Field. Only 30 seconds burn, but it's a very tough one to come back from. We'll see if the NRG do have enough in the tank. Surely they do. We've seen them do it time and time again in overtimes before. And it's a pinching save that leads way to a clear. SSG will breathe for the moment. They get back out to midfield, but they do not have possession.
Particularly tight spread of the field either for SSG. They were willing to let NRG clear that ball, but it actually pays off quite nicely. Now they're ready to go at the midfield line. They said, we're going to go back up, get some boost, make sure we're really ready to play this one. NRG kind of scratching their head a little bit about where can we actually put the ball to get through.
Yeah.
It's really just trying to find any open space, and even if it's there, it doesn't feel like NRG's ready for it to go that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen a spread from NRG, whether it's been Justin and Squishy working on both sidewalls, adjacently bringing that back line upfield. So you don't have a clear cut right in the front of the box. You're more than happy to play laterally, as SSG didn't have the cleanest of possessions, but Arsenal still doing all he can to be a nuisance in the base of NRG for the moment. It's a miss, and if that goes in, you've got to be joking. How is this happening? The defense that we praised so often in this series starting to crumble a little bit, but NRG do survive, and more importantly, Space Station losing out on what could have been a 2-0 lead.
Yep. Like that trap from Squishy. Again, NRG trying to force possession on themselves, make Space Station come and take it. Actually, a pretty decent pinch there from Garrett G to the opposite end of the pitch, but they mishandle the ball. It allows SSG a few moments to really size this one up, and here they come again.
Constant win after constant 50. SSG just keep the pressure through the corner. And that Squishy demo actually gives LJ some room to work here. I mean, he can just fight against Garrett, try to bump Squishy like he does. Daniel's upfield. He grabs, never mind, Squishy getting the corner regardless. We'll try to keep things moving. Dangerous shot, quickly saved. More pressure. NRG in the corner. Garrett flies back. LJ wins it again. In transition, here comes Space Station.
And NRG really trying to dive aggressively in the corners. When they get onto that Space Station half, they want to take away that corner boost and hopefully, of course, win the challenge, but I think they're just trying to slow down that transition from NRG and give themselves some more opportunities in the midfield uncontested. But right now, no shot at that. It is player after player.
I mean, now you can't even get up towards the ceiling, towards the side wall if you're NRG without getting challenged quickly. Squishy catches it low. It's a beautiful read as well. He gives Justin time to get back. It gives Garrett time to come up for the challenge. They'll do so. NRG engine now starting to come online. Space Station escaping a lot of this pressure. Oftentimes that possession's been caught in traffic, but it's been Space Station who found the better of this team so far. Justin going to play it towards the side. LJ popping it, maybe looking for a contest off the back wall, but Justin will read it, and NRG get it out yet again. Squishy back to Garrett. Never mind. SSG will find the read.
Not quite able to put that where they wanted. The idea is there for NRG. That's a creative transition. It's long passes, but they're at such strange angles. It's actually pretty awkward to go and commit to that line if you're Space Station, because there's generally an easier play available, and it's putting a lot of pressure on NRG to actually execute. Squishy will make a stop, and time now the biggest factor for him. NRG only able to muster how many? 3 shots so far. Same for Space Station, but they don't care. They've got the lead.
I mean, the overextension, whether it's been LJ or Arsenal, they've been sneaking through the back line of NRG, and they've found success. It's forced Squishy to have to pop immediately off his own goal line and burn a lot of boost to keep this one out. Still a 1-0 lead. Plenty of time. Squishy, the pass to Justin. Great click into the lane and cut down. Arsenal.
Oh, we missed.
This is the touch. Is that a floater? It is, but Justin can't close it.
So close. Not able to capitalize on the misplay from Space Station. Not done yet, though. Another cut shot from Justin. Huge idea. Garrett G tries to put it off the ceiling to keep it away from that Space Station defense. Not sure if there's quite enough in the tank here. Prove me wrong. They had it, but they can't score it. It's off the post.
They're throwing everything and the kitchen sink at this. Throw the basement as well. LJ escaping. Oh, 1v1 around the bend, and LJ puts them away.
Now, if you're an NRG fan, now you roll your eyes and you say, of course. Of course. They get it all going the way. They get the 2-0 lead in this series. They get put all the way into Game 5. They give up the early goal, but they find a way to get into equalizing position, and they just can't score the ball. And then you give up the one-on-one back the other way and close out the series, and you get knocked out. Oh, that hurts if you're an NRG fan.
You're up 2-0, and you get reverse swept. And it was close in this game, but you're down a goal, and it just does not go your way. You're throwing everything at the door, and it will not break, and then you get beat by LG on the opposite side.
Cuts deep. And right when you had us thinking like, okay, maybe NRG have figured something out. Obviously, they're not out there looking like they're going to go win the tournament, but we're thinking, okay, you know what? Maybe we start making a few deeper runs in these tournaments, and then the offense just kind of fizzles out a little bit. And that defense that was so proactive and able to really go out there and cut down some of those passing lanes starts to lose some of its effectiveness as the series goes on. And then they just can't quite hold up.
Leaf?
Yeah.
Look, I mean, it was closer in the end because of how SSG were able to show up, but a 2-0 lead for NRG, I mean, you think things are going right even if the gameplay isn't perfect, but to kind of lose in that fashion, it's got to be almost more frustrating than getting swept knowing you're so close in a Game 5. You just get beat by 1 goal, and then in the end, it's just kind of the statement from LJ. That's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, like the biggest thing for them is that if this is something that they're figuring out, and you said it, they're not going to go and win this regional with it, but if there is some